Hello, honored to have you here. This is McCook's Mr. Bill, Don's A52 channel. With the holidays, you do see your relatives more often, but some of us see our relatives all the time. I have one relative that tests my religion, probably more than your relatives test you. Maybe. We'll see. She came 5 years ago from Denver to be closer to the relatives in her latter days. And at 91, she can test anyone's religion. Mostly mine, because I'm the guy that's been elected, if you will, to take care of the woman. Okay. And so the aunt is an interesting person. And she has started out our relationship. I got a call from law enforcement one day, and she wanted me arrested. Why should I be arrested? Well, I didn't go see her that day. That's right. And I told the law enforcement, I said, well, the car broke down. And they said, couldn't you at least call her? And I said, the woman's almost deaf and refuses to wear her hearing aids. And so calling her, she'll never answer the phone. Now I told them, I said, don't worry, I'll get the car repaired today and I'll be out there tomorrow to see her. Okay. That one calmed down for a while. Then the next time I got a call from law enforcement, it got just a little bit interesting. They called up and they, do you know the woman? Yes, it's my aunt, okay, fine. They said, you realize she has accused you of attempted murder. And I said, you'd think I'd remember that if that was the case. And I said, just jog my memory a little bit. How did I attempt to murder her? Now, I figured it wasn't too serious because they'd called me on the phone. With that in mind, they said, well, they sent an officer out there because that is sort of a serious accusation. And they got out there, and she said I'd tried to kill her with blueberries. And I said, well, I sure did buy a tub of blueberries out at Walmart. And I said I took them out there because she likes those. And so I just bought her some for free, just give it to her. And they said, well, she went through and looked apparently at every one of them and found 3 out of the 100 or 120, whatever there'd been in there. There were 3 that were overripe. And she is accusing you of attempted murder. Okay. I said, well, you do what you got to do. And they said, well, they realized there wasn't much there. And they then questioned her, does he abuse you and anything else? They could find, see if there was any other dirt that might be happening to her, in which there wasn't. And so they got the situation calmed down, and the officer decided everything was fine and wanted to leave. It took him 30 minutes more to leave. As the woman, when you walk into the room, she starts talking. And she will talk the entire time. No, you don't get a word in edgewise. Only her words are important. And as she talks to you, your eyes glaze over. And it took him 30 minutes then to get out of there after he was completely done. And as I always tell everybody, you've got to just walk out, because she won't shut up until you've walked out the door, and she probably still talks for a few minutes after that. And needless to say, when he got back to talk to his boss, he said he would resign being a police officer if he ever had to go back out there. And I don't know if he was kidding or not. But I do admit, though, that if anybody would ever kidnap the woman, they would bring her back within an hour and probably give you $50,000 to take her back. That's the kind of woman that tests your religion. I remember one day she wanted me to get groceries for her, so I brought the groceries and took them over to her. It was $80 worth of groceries. Okay. And it was a windy day, though. Nebraska has windy days. And the receipt blew out of my hand. I couldn't catch it, but I knew what it had cost. I got out there and told her what it cost, and she said, I refuse to pay you because you might be lying. And so that'll teach you a good lesson to hang on to that receipt better. I'm not paying you the $80, so that was out of my pocket. The woman has tested my religion numerous times. Numerous times. And so needless to say, maybe yours has tested your own religion and made your life more interesting. But the idea, I always say, is rather than to give in to getting angry or frustrated, or maybe even taking the step and maybe being a little objectionable or not going to see her, the best thing is to keep going. If nothing else, it irritates the devil to see that you can stay calm in a tough situation. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. You have a Merry Christmas.